Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Seinarukana with me, Phantoms Y. When we last left off, we got our butt kicked by a tail, but I have a method now. I actually went through and figured this out for myself for once, believe it or not, and I figured out a team that's going to do this. So we're going to have Seinarukana, Nozomi, and Subaru be our team. I'm going to go ahead and set up their skills now that we are in the battle selection menu. Okay, so what do we want for a tail, that at least the method that I chose? Claw on slot 2 is vital, for sure. We're going to keep him on Claw Dance, and we're going to put him on Weaken. We would probably be alright without Weaken, but neither of the other skills is really going to help us out in this particular method, so we might as well Weaken him, because we are going to have Seinarukana in the supporter role a couple of times. Okay, so for Nozomi, we want Name Breaker 1. We just want to hit him as hard as we can with Nozomi when we do attack him. We want Inspire, we want Aura Shield 2, and with Subaru, Dimension Twist 1 is the important skill we want on him. Aura Barrier 1 also is going to help us out. Lightning Blast 2 doesn't, or 1 rather, doesn't really matter, but that's what we're going to keep on him. Alright, so for a tail, what we're going to do to start is Inspire. We're still going to Inspire, we're going to have Subaru absorb the first blow, and we're going to have Seinarukana use Claw on slot 2 to get in some nice beefy damage here at the very beginning. Alright, so let's engage. I'm going to skip ahead a bit. Oh my gosh, I have these headphones up really loud. Okay, there we go. That's better. I know Subaru took a lot of damage there in just one hit, but don't worry, he'll be okay. Okay, so from here, we are actually going to swap out these two. Nozomi's going to go in the attacker role and Seinarukana into the supporter role to weaken the blow that Itel's going to get off on Subaru. So here we go. Name Breaker on this turn. Bam! Beautiful. Nozomi also eats the counter damage, of course, but that's still okay. Not a huge deal. He's going to get hit by Analyze and then by Crybringer, but he's going to be okay. Subaru is a tough guy. Alright, so from here, we are actually going to put Seinarukana back in the attacker role. We're going to swap Subaru to the supporter role to get rid of Bottomless Pit this turn, and also to do that force damage to him. So we're going to get a nice 1-2 punch here. He's not going to be able to hit us with Bottomless Pit, because that is a setup skill, and we are going to do some force damage to him. And Nozomi's not going to really take much damage from Crybringer. So here we go. We hit him for 1,000 more damage with Seinarukana. That is the Dimension, what is it, Twist from Subaru. He uses Crybringer. That is going to hurt us a little bit, but not a huge deal. 600 damage is not terrible. Okay, Bottomless Pit again, but that's okay. The thing is with Itel, and this took me the longest time through trial and error to realize this, is that what I was trying to do for a while was with Seinarukana, I was like, okay, I'm going to try to drain his mana so he can't use his basically his big heal ability, because I was getting him down to that point, and then he would just heal up. The thing is, if you let him set up his Bottomless Pit here, he's going to prioritize that over his life drain skill, even when he's low on HP. So instead of what I was thinking I would do and trying to basically Dimension Twist, you know, a Bottomless Pit, and then when he was low, drain his mana, unfortunately his heal only takes 1 mana to begin with, so he was still getting it off, really, most of the trials I did. But instead, we're just going to put Subaru into the defensive role here. He's going to absorb the attack because it's an all defense, so he's going to not let it hit Nozomi or Seinarukana, which is good. Very, very good indeed. And we are going to Name Breaker him. And we're going to weaken him with Seinarukana, which is going to be very helpful, actually. So we hit him again, he's down to 796 HP. And this method should be very repeatable for you if you are having, you know, trouble with this guy, like I did. Alright, and then all you gotta do, swap Seinarukana into the attacker role, Nozomi just a supporter, you know, for one last turn here. And then we're just gonna finish him off with Seinarukana. That is it. And we win. Bam. We're victorious, right? Nope. Because there's another fight. But nice thing is, we can use the same team to defeat Adegga. And, you know, really Adegga is not as tough as a Tail, at least he wasn't to me. Now, I was mentioning the mana drain before. I am going to use that on Adegga. What we're going to do is enemy combat mana down with this. We're going to use that to neuter this guy a little bit and keep him from having the versatility that he would want. We're still going to keep the other two on Seinarukana, that's all we need to change. For Subaru, I mean, doesn't really matter because we're not going to be... Honestly, once I set the formation here, we're not going to be changing anything. So we don't even really need to worry about changing Subaru. And for Nozomi, you want to change to Dual Edge 2. Or I want to change to Dual Edge 2. Your mileage may vary. And the reason for that is because this guy loves to stifle your mana regeneration. You're only going to be gaining 1 mana per turn on this guy, and it's really not nice. So a skill that takes even 2 mana is annoying in this fight. So you want to stick with this 1 mana attack, and especially since it hits so hard. You could Inspire on this fight, and you could get it to work just fine if you wanted to Inspire in the first round like this. But what I'm going to do, just for simplicity's sake, basically just to show what I was talking about essentially here, is we are going to use Iron Maiden here with Seinarukana down in the supporter role. It's going to drain his mana. We're going to have Nozomi in the attacker role and Subaru in the defender role. Very similar to what we had, you know, for a lot of the last fight, honestly. With just some minor additions. And the thing is, this guy isn't going to be able to do much about it, as you're going to see. So his Power of Red is just a massive buff to all his attributes. I say just like it's no big deal. But it's okay. Like, we can let him get this off, and that's alright. Also, this guy's abilities, his support skills, are pretty high level, so you will have a hard time banishing them. I think the 2 of them are level 7, and 1 is level 5, so you could banish that one. Alright, I suppose, but I think that's his... it's like his blue skill, basically the one that makes your mana regeneration crap. So Subaru is going to get hit for 200 damage, not a big deal. This is it right here, Freezing Sphere. That is the one that will lower your mana regeneration. But that's all it really does. So when he uses that, we drain out his mana for his support skills. He still gets it off. But the thing about it is, you're keeping him from being able to really change up the skills that he can use. And we're keeping him from basically using this. We're keeping him from using Wind of Wrath, because this skill is a hit-all, and it's really annoying. I mean, granted, you could have a different formation, and obviously adapt a different strategy, but frankly, this guy goes down really quick just with this formation. Spoiler alert, we're not changing this formation. This is what we're going to do throughout the entire fight, and we're going to win, just like this. So really, this fight is pretty simple, and obviously there's other ways you could approach it, but this way works for me, and this way you really can just form up one team and, you know, pretty much just ride through both fights. I think you could probably easily switch up Katima for Seinarukana's role in this. I feel like Subaru would be a little more difficult to replace in the first fight, especially because of his dimensional twist, but I only used that once in that fight anyway. So I know that there's other ways, obviously, to get through the fight. But if you wanted to just figure out a way to beat them, this formation will work. Alright, so we're just going to keep going. Power of Black again. Freezing Spear. And we're just going to keep it up. Next hit, he's dead. Power Black. He once again uses that. Alright, so he now does have enough mana to be able to use his skill, his wind skill, which I think he would do this turn. I'm not 100% sure about that, but the thing is, the fight's over. So, damn. Yeah. Good job, Sorluska. Alright, so I did beat these guys, obviously, off camera, but I did not watch the cutscene here afterwards. So, once again, we are back in spoiler-free territory. Let's do this.
まさかこれほどとはな。
やはりジルゴルの力は侮れん。転生した後も我らの障害となろうよ。
なんとしても排除せねばな。
We've got them cornered, but they don't look alarmed or afraid in the slightest.
ファイムを完全に覚醒させる。それが我々のすべきこと。
ジルオルの排除をなくして理想世界の安定は望めない。
ここで余計に動かれてしまっては対処が面倒になるからの。
Exposition. Tail holds up his hand towards Nozomi as he speaks indifferently. White light appears and wraps around her.
どこに行くんだ。もう逃げる場所はねえぜ。
何を言っておる。そこにあるではないか。
何？
このようなところで計画がついえるわけにはいかんのだ。
The light expands until it swallows them too. As it does, it starts getting harder to sense their power.
まさかログ領域の中に逃げ込むつもりか。
何ですか？そのログ領域って。
お前たちにはどうあがいても追ってこれない場所だ。
さらばじゃ。
Stop! I chase after them as they disappear with grins on their faces, but the light seeps into the trunk behind them before I can get there. All that's left is empty space.
まさかこの後に及んでまだ逃げるなんて。往生際の悪い奴らです。まったく逃げ足だけ速いのはどっちの方なのよ。すぐに追うのです。
でも追うと言ったってどうするんだ。
They disappeared into that giant tree trunk. I assume that's where the core of the Sephiroth is, but I haven't the slightest clue how to get in there. Besides, we've got trouble. I don't think they want us chasing after them. I look around. We dealt with most of the minions before we got here, but they're back again. The sovereign gods disappeared suddenly, and are keeping us from going after them. Are they trying to trap us here? We can't let these minions hold us up. We've got to go after them right away. I glance over at Sales, while holding my swords up to keep them back.
サレス、さっきログ領域って言ったわよね。ログ領域って何？
簡単に言えば時間時の情報を取り込んだ巨大なデータ群だ。
A data cluster? That's where they went?
そうだ。マナで構成されている肉体であれば、ログ領域の情報に近い形態に自己を変換することで、ログの中に埋没させることもできる。
That's strange. Meaning?
ログ領域に逃げ込んだ奴らを追うことは可能だ。
肉体や精神の情報をデータ化するのは、ここにある装置を使えば簡単にできるわ。
だが、ログ領域の情報は個人が有するものに比べてはるかに膨大だ。自我が揺らいでしまえば、情報の海の中で圧力に耐えられず。
情報が上書きされる可能性があると。
This is so meta.
ってことはつまり、奴らを追ってログ領域の中に入れば、自分を失う可能性があるかもしれないってこと？
You might overwrite your save file. Be careful.
肉体を構成する細胞の情報が上書きされるだけだったらまだいいが、精神のデータに他のデータが混ざってしまえば、最悪、自己を失う。
他に手はないのか？物理的にログ領域に干渉する手段は？
ないじゃろうな。 インターフェースなしでコンピュータ内のデータを操作するようなものじゃ。
ログ領域の中に逃げ込むなど、管理神といえど危険極まりない。
Hold it. Isn't Nozomi in there too? They turned her into data and brought her with them in there. Then, like you all said, she's in danger from that data.
そうね。躊躇している時間はないわね。
Everyone goes quiet, nervous, tense. We can go after them, but there's no guarantee that we'll be able to come back safely.
全員で行く必要はないと思うわ。
Satsuki's the one who breaks the silence.
私がログ領域の中に入ってのぞみちゃんを助けてくる。みんなはここにいて邪魔が入らないように見張ってて。もう二度と帰ってこれんかもしれんのじゃぞ。それでも行くというのか。誰かが行くしかないでしょう。
I'll go. You stay here.
でものぞむくんは帰ってきたのぞみちゃんを出迎える役目があるでしょ。
She smiles gently to me. I'm thankful to know that she cares so much about me. But I can't just sit here and wait. I need to keep the promise I made to Nozomi back on the dying world. Anybody can do that. Sales, I'm going. I'm going in and bringing her back.
一人では危険だぞ。
じゃあ二人で行きましょうか。
Why are you doing this, Satsuki?
大切な人だもん。のぞむくんものぞみちゃんも。
Okay, we'll both go. No time, right? Right, Sales? Send us in now.
わかった。
The minions are very courteous to just let us talk about all this right in front of them. The minions around us are slowly getting closer, very slowly apparently. But I know that everyone will protect this place until we bring Nozomi back.
のぞむ、さつき。
Everyone, keep things safe here. We'll be right back.
うん、気をつけてね。信じていますよ。二人ならやり遂げてくれると。
あんな奴の好きにさせとくなんてムカつくからな。ガツンと決めてやれ。
これだけの期待背負ってるんだから失敗したら承知しないわよ。
のぞむくんなら管理神になんて負けないよ。大丈夫。
かっこよく決めちゃいなさい。ピンチに現れるヒーローっぽくね。必ず帰ってきてくださいね。
You too, Zetsu. I'm counting on you. Salas and Zetsu step out in front of the others. The minions watch them warily, but keep edging closer.
任せろ。背中は守ってやる。
He grins, half facing away from me already. As he holds his sword with Nanashi at his side, he's nothing like that tragic guy I saw back in the last world. Not my mortal enemy bound by fate. My best friend, a fellow warrior. I can't help but smile back.
一応ここにある端末を使用してログ領域の情報を得ることはできるようじゃ。しかしわらわたちには内部にいる望むたちに干渉する術はない。気をつけるのじゃぞ。
Leave it to me.
それじゃあみんな行ってくる。必ずのぞみちゃんを取り戻してくるからね。
She gives everyone a cheerful little salute.
さつき、気をつけろ。
Good artwork also, I should mention. I really like that CG.
大丈夫よ。心配しないで。
ならば行くぞ。決して自身を見失うな。
Salas holds up one of the floating cubes in his hand. The same white light as before appears. Does Salas know how to do this because he used to be one of them? I feel a sudden twinge of uncertainty. Come on, man. Trust in Salas. Right now, saving Nozomi is our top priority. I nod to remind myself of that. And then, Satsuki and I step into the light. Whoa. I open my eyes. All I can see is dazzling lights everywhere. A vast space filled with streams of light. There's no land or anything. I can't tell up from down. Am I standing? Am I laying down? I'm floating in the middle of a whirlpool of lights. Let me try that again. I'm floating in the middle of a whirlpool of lights, whipping past all around me. I'm not sure if I'm even really here. This is the torrent of information Sales was talking about? If I don't remember who I am and what I'm doing here, I might just melt into the light without even realizing it.
予想していたよりもずっとすごいわね。
Satsuki looks around, all around at the swirling lights, her breath caught in her
時
throat.
間樹の情報か。信じられないくらい膨大な数ね。
Satsuki, it'll swallow you if you get distracted.
そうね。気をしっかりと保たないと。
Really don't understand anything about the time tree's data. But everything here looks like it's stretching out forever. No idea how far it could all reach. Anyway, let's get going. Nozomi's probably unconscious. Don't save her quickly. She could get swallowed by this.
そうね。エトルたちが何するかもわからないし。
We have no idea where we're going. We start moving. I can sense her.
Eh?
Nozomi. Not clearly. I definitely feel her.
本当だ。なんて言ったらいいのかしら。のぞみちゃんがずっと遠くにいるのに、はっきりと居場所がわかる。
It's weird. Like nothing I've ever felt before. Maybe she's calling out to us. Or maybe it's her eternity sword. Maybe a trace of data left behind. I really have no idea. Anyway, it's all we've got. We follow it while enduring the torrent around us. Huh? What's that?
さっきから何かチラチラ見えてるわね。
You saw it too? Something's happening to the lights all around us. For just a split second, the white glare becomes something I don't recognize. It happens a few more times, and slowly starts to get clearer.
もしかして、これが記録されている情報なのかしら。
Maybe. It's like looking at photos. Another image flashes past. It's a deserted wasteland, just like the last world. Bodies are strewn all over. It looks like a battlefield. What was that? I've never seen it before, but for some reason, it seems familiar.
どうしたの？
It's nothing. What is all this data here? Why is the Sephiroth saving it? What have they been doing with it? My questions keep piling up. But right now, we need to concentrate on saving Nozomi. Can't forget what I'm doing here, or who I am. I will save her. I have no idea how far we've gone. There's no sense of time or distance in here. We just keep going forward.
のぞむくん、感じる？
Satsuki stops me. I do. She's nearby.
やっぱりエトルとエデガも近くにいるわ。
I don't feel confident if I have to fight them again here with just Satsuki. Somewhere in the light in front of us are Nozomi and the Sovereign Gods. We're finally here, but we're not sure if we should just walk right up to them. No hesitating this far in. Also, I should probably save the game just in case. Didn't even consider that. But since we finished that fight, you know.
何か言った？
Forget it. Let's go. We have to save her. Tell and Edega have to be inside that wave of light. I can sense Nozomi in there too. We're not going to be able to save her unless we do something about them. How do we fight somewhere we can barely keep track of our own bodies? On the other hand, we can't fight. Maybe there's nothing they can do either. Oh yeah, can we use our eternity swords in here?
そういえばここに来たから真剣が使えるかどうかなんて試してなかったわね。やってみる？
If every part of us has been turned into data, maybe we can still call on our weapons. I picture the two swords in my hands. I usually barely even need to think about it. My thoughts are being messed up by the storm of light all around us. I concentrate even harder on what they look like, how they feel, their weight, their power. Finally, My swords appear in my hands. But don't you, like, not have hands because you're just chunks of data? I did it.
私もよ。
Holding Aurora gives me a strange sense of security, the torrent surrounding us. Huh. We can summon them. We didn't need to wonder.
でもこれは私たちのイメージでしかないかもしれないわ。ひょっとして案外使えないかも。
We'll just have to try. Besides, the light begins to ripple. A tail and a Degga start to blur through it.
まさか
Oof.
このログ領域の中にまで追ってくるとは。
Unfortunately, like, I am gonna have to end the episode, like, in the next 5 minutes or so, because I have to go to work, but...
自分を失うことが恐ろしくないのか。
I glare back at them, ignoring their irritating words. We won't give up, no matter where you go. Give her back.
のぞみちゃん、聞こえてる？
No response. She must still be unconscious. We've got to save her as quickly as we can. If you're not going to give her back, then we're taking her. Prepare yourselves. I swing my sword and let loose a shockwave of power, just like in the real world.
いましいネズミがどこまでもしつこいやからよ。
この娘を失うのは惜しいが仕方あるまい。ここは本来の計画を優先するが道理ぞ。
しかりなれば。
Both of them suddenly start fading like fog. Flicks my legs, just like in the real world, and rush towards them. But as I charge at them, the last traces of them suddenly explode in a massive roar and blinding flare. It's like a mana storm, a raging torrent crushing us. They trying to overwhelm our data under sheer pressure? Nozomi! Where are you? I try to find her in the typhoon of light and sound.
見つけた、のぞみちゃん。
I look towards where she's pointing, and just barely see Nozomi. We desperately run towards her, pushing through the maelstrom. Damn it! I won't let you be erased! I cut through the giant wave that's starting to engulf her. If she gets swallowed here, she'll lose who she is. Countless images flash all around me. It's too much information for anybody to handle. Every jolt makes me wince in pain, but I steel myself and don't let it stop me. I believe in my power, in the friend at my side, in the swords in my hands. I won't die in here. The storm of information suddenly subsides, and I can breathe a little easier. Did we make it?
危なかった。もう少しでのぞみちゃんが流されるところだったわ。
The sovereign gods have vanished. Should I be frustrated that they got away, or relieved that they're gone? Anyway, I'm just glad that we got Nozomi back. How is she?
意識が戻ってないけど、命に別状はないと思う。
Okay, let's get out of... I look up in shock as I sense it. Everything around us is crackling. The air is rumbling. Satsuki and I both snap our heads towards the sound. It's a wave of data, a torrent of light, even larger and more intense than when what we just survived is coming straight at us.
まだ生きておるか？しかしこれでしまいよ。
Tail's voice echoes from somewhere far away. He's really trying to kill us this time. Or does he have something even bigger planned for after this?
逃げるわよ、のぞむ。耐えられる規模じゃない。
Right! It's coming from all around us, though. Our only choice is to cut away straight through it. We're going home to everyone. I swing my sword down and cut through the wave behind us. The opening only lasts an instant, but we've run into it. I brace my sword ahead of us as Satsuki carries Nozomi behind me through the tiny gap in the torrent. All we can do is keep running back towards where we entered the log sector. But the data is even worse than we expected. It slams into us over and over from every side, making it harder to keep moving.
シャレにならないわね。このままじゃ。
Don't give up. Just get to the exit. If we're swallowed by this, it's all over. I just keep pushing forward with my sword. But I can't last much longer. The storm of light is whipping all around us, starting to engulf us.
しっかりしろ。
Sales.
サレス。
A green spark runs through the white light. Sales is on the other side of it, reaching out for us.
ログの命令を感知してきた。このままではお前たちは消滅する。逃げるぞ。
Thanks. Satsuki, grab on! The pressure around us has weakened a little. I shout to her as I turn back to grab her hand. What I see is resignation on her face. In the middle of the surging light, she smiles. And then she pushes Nozomi off her shoulder at me. It takes all my reach just to grab Nozomi's hand.
のぞむくん、のぞみちゃんを頼むわ。
Satsuki? What are you doing?
さすがに消耗しすぎたかも。私じゃ逃げきれない。
No! The torrent of data surges again. In an instant, it wraps around her. She disappears into it.
私のことはいいから早く。
Oh, and I got it!
逃げなさい。
I have to end the episode. I literally don't have any more time. Oh, I'm sorry to end on a cliffhanger like this, guys, but thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.